up, family? Yeah, we back. I told you I was coming. So the catch up is officially here. I'm talking to a dude that is hip hop through and through. I got a real deal showing up to the core hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? And representing NC, all right? That's what I'm talking about, baby, the family. So look, get ready, comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff, man. I need that. Let's get into it. The catch up. Oh, one more time. Mr. D.O.L.O, aka the pro, aka the professional fruit. Let's go.
Let's get it over with.
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. What's going on with you, baby?
Ski Beatz in the building, man.
Building.
Man, oh man, look, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at me, boy. The great is coming out, man.
Oh yeah, you know.
Hey, look, I started growing it at 35, man. My stuff started coming out stupid early, man. I don't know what it was. What's good with you, boy? Talk to me, man. Welcome to the catch up, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man. You know, I'm in here, trying to stay safe through all this craziness, you know what I mean?
COVID is real.
It's real.
COVID is real. COVID is real. Can't front on that. I tell you what, though, it's done put me in a different type of space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, creatively, it opened your mind up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
You kind of left with nothing else to do but, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So first, look, let me say this, cause I wouldn't be right without. Ski, I love you, man. I love you. You are so important to NC hip hop. You're so important to me. What I've done, the things I've seen, you know what I mean? You play a big part in all of that, man. I want to say thank you on here first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the man. You the man.
I appreciate it, man. Love you
First,
too, bro.
but two, I want to say this too. Like me and you, we do some hip hop shit now. We talk that talk, and I don't think I ever talked to you about this, but bruh, you was like one of the first cats in NC I ever heard on a record.
Yeah, Busy
like,
Boys, baby.
Busy Boys, baby. Like, period. Like, I remember, man, I was like, these boys from New York or something. Like, what's happening? Like, I ain't never heard of it before. And then found out Greensboro was popping.
Yeah,
you know
man.
What I mean?
Yeah,
Greensboro. So how that even start, man? Like, cause like when I had a payroll record. I did have a payroll record. I think I had dropping it.
Okay.
And I know Mark Spark. I know Fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't put all that together that y'all was a crew like that until like a little later on. You know what I'm saying? How that even come about? How y'all even meet?
Before Spark, it was me. Well, I met Fanatic through my friend Eli. Eli was friends with Fanatic. They was taking this course over at this place called Weaver Center, where they taught electronic music. And I was at Weaver Center, but I was taking welding. And Eli was like, yo, you should come to our class. I want you to meet my friend Fanatic. You know, he's a producer. He make beats, yada, yada, yada. And he raps. So he introduced me to Fanatic. And I spit a little rhyme for him. And he was like, oh, man, you sound dope. Listen, we want you in the group, I think the name of that group at the time was like the Crush MCs, something like that. Yeah. And they had this other guy in the group. His name was GMC2. And he was about to leave the group. He didn't want to rap anymore, so they was looking for another rapper. And so it was going to be me and Fanatic rapping, but Fanatic decided not to rap. He said, yo, I want you to hold it down. I'll just make the beats. So then we changed the name to the Busy Boys. And I hooked up with Fanatic. I hooked up with Dana Lucci. Rest in peace.
Dana Lucci, man. Oh, yeah, man. My time in Winston, man, he played a big part for that. Oh, man. Dana always hollered at me, did me good, man.
So yeah.
Every time, man. Damn, man. Rest in peace, Dana, man.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me get my camera back. Yeah, man. Dana taught me everything, bro. He taught me everything. Him and Fanatic. They taught me everything about hip hop, man.
Fanatic,
kid. You know what I'm saying?
Where is he at? Have you talked to Fanatic? Like, is he still there?
He's still around. He's back in Greensboro. He's still pursuing music. He's trying to be like a rock star right now. He's like on some Lenny Kravitz shit. You should follow him on Instagram, man. I think it looks totally crazy.
I gotta see that, yo. I gotta see that.
You wouldn't even think he ever did hip hop. That nigga looked just like Lenny Kravitz.
Come on, man.
Maxwell or some shit like that, yeah.
Crazy. So then when Spark get down there?
Well, Spark was a promoter in Waysboro, and so he one day, he wanted the Busy Boys to come perform in Waysboro. We came and perform, and we just automatically clicked with Spark. You know what I'm saying? He was funny. Plus, he had the money. He was a promoter. He was like doing all these shows with us, paying us. So he was started hanging out with us. And when he started hanging out with us, he caught that bug. He was always a DJ, but he caught that producing bug, and he just took it to the next level.
Woo, man, look, that day I just listened to that 2000, the Grand Prix with a Spark. Woo.
Yeah.
Y'all boys had a sound though, man. Like I feel like y'all cultivated North Carolina sound. Like the producers that's known out of North Carolina right now.
Yeah.
Bruh, y'all fathered that, man. Like your ear for that style of music. You know what I'm saying? Like all y'all kind of had it, but you would find them records that like, woo, boy, like Jesus.
Man,
listening, like you ain't gonna never live that one down.
Right, yeah. Man, listen, like growing up in NC, you know how it was, man. Coming from like the church background, the whole musical background, everybody playing instruments. New York was different. When I moved to New York and I heard their hip hop, which I'm always a fan of, like the Primos and the Pete Rocks and all that, they shit was dope, and it was heavy drum bass, choppy. But I was more of a melodic. I like music, so that's how you get the Dead Presidents, the Lucinis, and records like that.
Man, that's our sound. We melodic around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff, man. All right,
Shit.
so look.
I was inspired by Nasty Fruit, man. Listening to you and Skaz and them.
Hey, man.
Man, crazy.
Hey, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We were doing some work now. We doing some work. I need to play some of that stuff while I got you on here. Like, look, just flashback for a minute. Yo, to me, all right, so check it. Like, now on that tip, like, y'all were like the South Bronx of North Carolina. If you want to parallel it, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, it seemed like everything was coming out of Greensboro. Y'all had the dopest shows. Like, everybody would come to Greensboro, perform. You know what I'm saying? If we wanted to see a real hip-hop show, we had to come to Greensboro at that time, man. Like, 87 to 89. Like Charlotte, I'm in Charlotte, you know what I mean? And we wasn't getting none of them hip hop shows like that. We would get those major joints. We get the Fresh Fest, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But y'all had them clubs that'll bring just like them 2 or 3 cats. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all will fuck around and have like Super Level C and Casanova Rudd. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we want to see them, we got to come up to Greensboro, you know what I'm saying, and check that joint out. You know what I mean? So like if and a lot of cats try to break NC down in the boroughs a little bit to try to parallel it, you know what I'm saying? And Charlotte to me, I was like, yo, we more like I don't know. I guess we was Harlem in a sense. It was real pretty down there.
Nah, y'all Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan, right? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Kane like to call Durham Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He parallels it to Brooklyn a lot. I always saw Durham as like Queens. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the cats that was around here, they really carried that Queensbridge type of thing with them. Like,
I can see that, and I feel like Winston is Brooklyn.
There you go.
Salem is Brooklyn.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's, hey, look, I'm thinking about doing a documentary on that and breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all the forefathers of the game. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. The Busy Boys, man. I love it. So, all right, how you get up to New York from doing the Busy Boys stuff?
Well, we put out a couple of records on Payroll Records.
Yes,
and
sir.
Owner of the label, Roland Jones, rest in peace. Man, we losing everybody. Yeah. Roland Jones, that was his record label, and he was originally from New York.
Okay.
And, one day he was like, yo, I'm moving back home. Ain't nothing really happening down here. Who want to go? And he asked us all, and I was like, the only one that's like, I want to go with you. You feel me? And, I asked Fanatic. He was like, no. I asked Move and Groove. They was like, no. I asked Dana. Dana wasn't leaving. And it was just me. So I moved up to
Groove, that was just dancers, right?
Yeah.
The boys was nice too, because I was dancing back then. I was looking to give them a piece. I was gonna hand them some if I ever ran across them. I'm telling you. But all right, go ahead, man.
So anyhow, we moved to his mom and dad lived in Jersey, but he was originally from Harlem. So we moved to Jersey. I was staying with him and his mom and dad in Narbonne. Narbonne came with us.
Narbonne. Another one. That's another classic head right there, boy. Woo.
Narbonne was from Brooklyn, so he brought that New York shit, to NC. When we did like the Supreme joint, the versatility and all that shit.
Yeah,
you hear Narbonne was seasoned. He was dope.
Woo.
You know what I mean?
That was nasty. That Narbonne.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead. That dog boy, you hit me with that name. I ain't heard that name in a minute, bro.
yeah.
Woo.
So anyhow, I ended up moving, to Jersey with him and his mom, not one, and them. Just in that crib, man, had my SP 1200, my disc, and was just honing my skills. I didn't have Fanatic no more, so I had to kind of take making beats serious. That's when I really got into beat making. I was still writing, obviously,
No
but I
doubt.
was getting deeper and deeper into like learning the machine and trying to find my own way with the music. And
So,
when I
was you
finally,
working with an SP then?
yeah, I had an SP. My mom had got me the SP 1200 right before I left, so had the SP 1200 with me. And just had my imagination, man, was just working that thing until I got it down to a science. Then I started making beats for Narbonne, and he ended up getting that deal with Next Plateau, which was dope. And once they got the deal with Next Plateau, him and Roland, they kind of moved to Fort Lee, New Jersey, and they got a studio in Inglewood. Inglewood, if you know Inglewood and Fort Lee, Inglewood is like 5 minutes. They like right next to each other. So I stayed in the studio. I slept on the sofa. I was living in the studio. Narbonne and Roland, they was up in the penthouse in Fort Lee, spending that Next Plateau money. They was doing their thing. But while I was in the studio, while I was there, I still had the SP. I was in there, just working on music. Cats would come in from New Jersey. That's how I met Redhead Kingpin, Big Bub, the whole Today. I met like all the like Gene Griffin, Sugar Hill Records. I started meeting all these people because I was living in Inglewood. And all of that happened in Inglewood. So I was hanging out with Redhead. Mark Spark was coming, to visit Redhead out in Jersey. So I would see Spark a lot. So it was like, kind of felt like I was home. Inglewood is sort of kind of like Greensboro in a way, a little bit. You know what I mean? Everybody know each other. It's kind of tight knit. But the day though, the day that changed everything, I'm up in the studio, and there's another guy who works in the studio also. He's like from Canada. It was Studio A and Studio B. His name was Marlon. He was from Canada, and he did club music. All he did was dance music. And in my studio, I was doing hip hop. So anyhow, this cop and Suave Lover, my first partner from Original Flavor. That's the day I met him. They came to the studio. They was coming to see Marlon because they wanted Marlon to give him beats. The cop was a rapper.
Okay.
The cop was trying to get beats from Marlon, but the cop overheard me in the back playing beats. So he was like, yo, who's back there making the beats? So he came through, knocked on the door. I let him in, said, what's good? He was like, yo, man, your beats is crazy. Yo, play some more. So I started playing him some beats. He was like, yo, what you doing with these beats? What you doing with these beats? I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just in here, making beats, creating.
No, I'm just doing what I do.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, well, I'm working on the album. Yo, I would love to get some of your beats. Where you live at? I'm like, dude, I live right here. See that sofa? That's my bed. I stay right here. This is where I live at. He was like, get out of here. He said, you know what? You make me beats. You can have my apartment in Harlem. Because he was staying with his girl. And he had a full apartment with a studio in it. He said, the studio's in it, everything. Come check it out. And I was kind of leery at first, but I'm like, you know what? He's a cop. Man, let me just go with him. So I went to Harlem. He showed me the apartment. And it was, like I said, full studio mixing board. Everything laid out. I didn't have to do shit, but just give him beats. And I'm like, yo, I want to do it. So I told Roland, I'm like, yo, I'm about to move to Harlem. You don't know that nigga? You don't know that nigga? I'm like, nah, fuck that. I said, I'm about to move to Harlem, man. This might be my chance. Y'all doing y'all thing. Let me do my thing.
No doubt.
So I moved to Harlem. I started making, beats for him. While I'm making beats for him, when I'm done with him, I'm over here working on my shit, trying to make beats for my shit.
No doubt.
My shit. And Suave, he would come through. And, Suave, he jumped on the joint. I'm like, yo, dude, jump on this joint too. Then I jumped on it. And I said, nigga, we should just do a group. Let's be original flavor. Let's just make an album real quick. And
original flavor is born, yo.
Right there. And he's like, yo, who are we going to get it to? How are we going to make it happen? I said, well, you know what? When I was in the Busy Boys, when all of these motherfuckers used to come to, the Greensboro Coliseum to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To come check us, they always told me, they was like, yo, hold on, my camera's wow. They always told me like, yo, if you ever need us, we there. So I knew Clark Kent. And I hit Clark at the perfect time, bro. I hit Clark Kent when he was like, he had just got the situation at Atlantic Records. He was like the A&R at Atlantic. So I told him I was coming through. And he was like, I bet. So I came up to Atlantic Records with my CD. My camera still didn't come on?
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, yo.
All right, let me see. Anyhow, I came to see, I got this cam link thing. It's kind of trippy. I don't want to my FaceTime camera would be crazy because it's off to the side.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Hey, I'm off to the side.
We'll take it. There you go. Boom.
So anyhow, I gave my demo tape, the first original flavor demo tape. I took it to Atlantic Records. I walked up to Atlantic Records. There was a lady at the receptionist desk. I was like, yo, I'm here for Clark Kent. Clark's not here, but you can leave your tape with me. And I'm like, I don't want to leave you. You know what I'm saying? I looked at this lady like, yo, what do you mean? Just leave it. I'll make sure he get it. So I left it with her. A week later, I went back to North Carolina to visit my mom. Took Suave with me. While I'm in my mom's crib, we chilling, talking, you laughing, introducing Suave and shit. Phone ring. Mom pick it up. She's like, yo, David, somebody named Clark Kent is calling you. I'm like, oh. Grab the phone. He's like, yo, dude, you got to come back. Atlantic Records want to sign you. They put us on a plane, flew back to New York. As soon as the plane landed, went to Atlantic Records. As soon as I walked in his office, Clark Kent right here, Dame Dash, Darian Dash right there. Clark was like, yo, this is Dame and Darian Dash. They heard your music. They want to manage you. I'm like, I bet. As long as we get the deal, I don't care who manages me. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? What, like a week later, we signed the paper. We was on, man. And that was
that's the universe, man. That's the universe. Your thought process was so focused on getting that thing, man. They just laid everything in front of you. That's, man.
Laid it out.
Boy, that's incredible. All right, so look, you know who my man is. Motherfucking Tone Hooker, man. So
Tone Hooker, yeah.
Yeah. So where Tone come in at? Cause Suave wasn't. I remember he kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Suave, we was doing that thing for the first album. The Suave kind of like, his heart wasn't really into it. You feel me?
Okay.
And I always knew Tone. I mean, I met Tone before record deals and anything. I met Tone when he was like 16. He was rapping at this talent show, and I always thought he was dope. So I always kept in touch with him.
That's my
and then I said, dude, I got an open slot, man. You want to be in this original flavor group? We already got the deal. All you got to do is just jump on these records. He said, yeah. And boom.
And that's his spirit anyway, yo. That dude's spirit is go time. It ain't no stopping with that dude. Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, man, love that dude. You still talking to Tone Hooker, man?
Every day.
That's what's up, man. You tell that boy I said peace, man. I need to put him in a headlock or something. That's my
I got you.
Yeah. All right. So, and then the infamous Jay-Z pops up on an original flavor joint.
All right. So we popping, we got original flavor. We're doing like our third video right now. Boom. We about to do, first of all, I met Jay-Z through Clark Kent because Clark wanted Dame to manage Jay-Z also. Okay. So Clark brought Jay-Z to the original flavor, Here We Go, Pump It Up video shoot. Okay. And when I met Jay, I met Jaz-O and Sauce Money at the same time. And, Clark was like, hey, this is Jay-Z, Dame Dash, original flavor. Nice to meet you, yada, yada. Yo, Dame was like, yo, let me hear you spit something. Jay-Z did his thing. I'm like, damn, this nigga's crazy nice. Yeah. And then Sauce came and spit. I'm like, damn, that nigga's ill too. Then Jaz-O rock. I'm like, oh, all three of these niggas is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
At this point though, the Hawaiian Sophie and all that, if that even came out yet? Oh, yeah,
Hawaiian Sophie
gone. Yeah, all that was gone. You know what I mean? So they was on the originators. What was that? Where they were doing the speed tonguing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And long story short, man, after we met, that day, he just kept coming around. Jay, Jaz-O, Sauce, every time I was in the studio, they was there. They would come to the crib, we would just make records, you know what I'm saying? We started clicking. And then I did the Can I Get Open record, and I said, yo, Jay, you need to jump on this joint. Played it for him, he was like, oh yeah, this is crazy. Then he did his thing on it, and then we kind of put him on in a sense because he kind of like, we took him on the road with us, you know what I'm saying? That was like his first kind of,
Yeah. Like I say, I had to flash back and remember seeing Jay in the Hawaiian Sophie video in the back, like, or whatever. Would never, it was like, okay, all right, I see that. But then I remember the originators joint, but he rocked on that. He rocked.
Yeah.
But then it was that can I get open, man? It was something about that rhyme. It started to stick out, like he started sitting in his pocket a little more. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But then that beat, boy, woo wee. You know what I mean? So that was the extra. You know, and then see, cats be forgetting that you used to really rap, man. You was an MC showing up. You was the first one doing the scratch rapping. I'm giving you that. You know what I'm saying? Cats don't want to give you that. I'm giving you that. You know what I'm saying? Missy need to send you some royalties.
Then Missy took
yeah.
Jay-Z wanted me to make a fucking record dissing Missy. He said, yo, why you taking your style, nigga? You need to make a record. Go at her. I'm like, man, I'm making beats. I don't care about that right now.
Hey, man, you should have ripped her ass up. You know what I'm saying? Show how it was done. You know what I mean? But no, it was cool. It was a pretty big gap for where you did it, the way she did it. But bottom line, and she kind of close to home. She Virginia, so
yeah.
Probably, I know she heard it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, y'all, you know, probably didn't think about it when she did it, but rape nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you that. So look, speaking of dead presidents, you going into that mode now. We in that zone. That's when I really started, like, I was already producing I already had my SP. I got my SP in like 91. You know what I mean? So I was already getting in it, but boy, it was something about that record. It was something about that feeling, man. Like, okay, say it like this. You still digging? Like, do you still physically put your hands out there and go through records? You know what I'm saying? Or are you one of them digital diggers now? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm both. There's no rules to this shit. You know,
well, ain't never been no rules for you. You the breaking this rule, dude. I remember, boy, being in the studio with you, and the story that comes to mind, we were doing that getting some change.
Ooh, getting some change, man.
And your boy had a toy hanging out around the studio, and it had all it, huh?
Who?
Your son. It had all these. It was it was some kind of it was a sound maker, and it had like all these little things you could hit. You could hit the little side, and it made a little. You hit the little thing.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and yo, we were just in there, and you were just picking up shit, and you picked that shit up and hit this one sound, and that shit said, and it sounded almost like some change, like some, you know what I'm saying, whatever. It was like, yo, take this in the studio right now, like, you know what I'm saying, put it on the mic, you know what I'm saying, like. Oh shit, we about to do this for real. Okay, like this dude has no limits to what he will put in a fucking song, man. Like, bruh, but I learned that though. I was like, yo, it ain't no rules to this shit, man. Whatever feels good, man, put it on there, man, and make it happen.
That's right.
Oh my God. Well, I think you might have got.
Yeah, I think a lot of these young producers, they missing that, man. Like, you know, today's time, it's a cookie cutter type of music that's out right now. And not to say, I mean, we're really, let's say this. To me, this is my take. And I've been pushing this, you know what I mean? Like, the whole point of this channel, man, is to try to bring balance to the force. To try to go ahead and show and preserve hip hop the way I feel like, you know, it need to be. And it's certain elements that's disappearing that I think that really needs to be there, even though they coming back in different forms. Now, let me explain that real quick. So, like, say DJing right now. DJing was a lost art at one point in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And now it's back, but it's not back in the music. You know what I mean? The DJ is prevalent right now in a way that hasn't been seen in a long time, but not in the music. You know what I'm saying? We still don't hear DJs cutting on songs, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, what have you. Now we got our genre music that, and cats that still do true school hip hop that's still in that pocket. And I think that's what I want to bring to this channel. Like it's heads I talk to this day, and I can name an artist that's been out about 10 years, and they look at me like, who you talking about? Like, I didn't know they make music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be some way to help all these cats get this music, man. Like, we in the disco era, and nobody's attention span is as long as my finger. You know what I'm saying? So
we definitely in the disco era.
We in the disco era, bro. It's singles, and Donald Duck is here, man. And Donald Duck plays all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, and I know you a purist like me. You a purist. So in this day and time right now, how do you take what's going on? Because like I'm saying, as being over 40 and coming from a different time, I still respect what cats do. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to say that. It's some cats out here that can do the trap and they can do the future beats and do the whole thing, and it just feel right, and you know it's right, and you can understand that these dudes got some extra with them. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a formula that everybody choose to use. You know what I'm saying? So like, do you think it's a place for cats right now over 40 that can still do the music that they love, and it's an audience that's gonna appreciate it?
Dude, that's definitely, man. It's like the lane is wide open for whomever. You can kind of create anything you want to. You got to think about it. All you need to have a successful career in the music business is 1,000 super fans. If you got 1,000 loyal followers that's gonna, copy your album every time you drop, support your merch, support your channel. 1,000, that's it, D.O.L.O. If you got 1,000, you got a career. And 1,000 is a small number, and you got to realize what, like we got like 70 billion people on Earth or something like that.
Something ridiculous. So I feel you though. And right now, the way the game is, like I say, that's the whole point. It's like I can name somebody, and they have their own little universe of heads that are rocking with them, and
right.
and you can see the success that they're having from their little cipher of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the beauty in the time right now, and that's why I think it's good for anybody, young or old, that's trying to get into this game or do music or whatever. It's the time to do it, man. I mean, yo, you can get a whole set now for what we used to pay for SP1200. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like, I made payments on my SP, man. Like, that shit was like $2,400. You know what I'm saying? Like in '91, bruh. Like, that shit was rough. You know what I'm saying? Now you can get everything you want, man. If you get, man, give me $2,400 and let me just buy all this. Man, look, full-fledged studio. You think I'm recording with Trey? You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful time for hip hop. I ain't gonna front on it, but I just think that because it's so saturated, it's so much music that's coming out.
But you can't even concern yourself with that. You can't even focus on that. You got to focus on your lane, and everything else don't even exist. You feel me? You don't worry about being on the radio. You don't worry about getting platinum shits. You don't worry about likes and views. All you do is focus on staying consistent with putting out your music, getting your fan base together, working that. You work your angle, and that's all you focus on. Everything else is make believe, fantasy. Don't even worry about that shit.
You hear that? You hear that? I hope everybody listening. Hear that? Listen to it. Words from the wise. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, my people be mad at me if I don't bring up Now City.
Woo! Now City.
Let's talk about Now City. Let's talk about Yes Sir. It's right there, baby.
Right there, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it from the top. You know what I mean? So,
man, Now City, man, was when I moved back to NC from New York.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. You're coming back to feed the fam. You're coming back to show some love to North Carolina. You know what I mean? A lot of cats don't do that. You know what I mean? A lot of cats that done made it. They don't come back home and show that love. You know
I had to come back home, man, because I know that's what that real talent, man. Is and I always felt like, and no disrespect to New York, but I always felt kind of like a stranger. I mean, I still feel like a stranger in a way, because when you being from North Carolina, you can walk outside your front yard, you can wash your car, you can do all this stuff, and it's different. You get a different energy. You know what I mean?
No
in
doubt.
New York, it's always kind of like I'm always standoffish a little bit because I'm not at home. But when I go home, it's always love. So when I came back home, man, for a minute, I was there. I was kind of, twirling my thumbs because I didn't know what to do. And I said, you know what? We need to form something. We need to start a movement. We need to get this thing moving. You feel me?
No doubt.
So I hooked up with my partner Franz, told him what I wanted to do. He funded everything from my studio, to getting to, everybody. He funded everything to make it happen.
No doubt. Oh, Franz.
And and then that's I reached out to you, found Keith. Well, first it was Missy Rack, Crunk, Hot Right, and myself.
Let's say it, I'm about to say, let's say it like that now, because you went through two phases of Now City.
Phases of Now City, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, because there's a Now City that I think certain people know, and then there's a Now City that other people know. You know what I mean? Because like I can say Now City to some heads, and the first name gonna pop up is Hot Right.
Hot Right, yeah.
Hot Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Hot Right had the streets on fire, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came through with that one heavy. You know what I mean?
Hot Right was the one who gave me the name Ski Beatz. I was always skiing until Hot Right put it in that record. He said Ski Beatz. I'm like, oh shit, I guess I'm Ski Beatz now.
Ski Beatz, boy, the AKAs, you know what I mean? Wheel Ski.
Will Ski.
Hey, Ski. Yo.
Crazy.
Yes, sir. So,
Wow.
all right. So now you got your original crew,
Mm-hmm.
and like you saying, that's Hot Right, Crump, Missy Rap, and you.
And me. Yep.
And then what happened next? Was that because you did the single, the Hot Right single.
Yeah, we did the Right Now. Then we did the one North Cock It Back.
Cock It Back.
It was crazy.
I think I got on a remix for that.
Yep.
I think I started coming down and I ended up on a remix. I don't think the remix came out, but I think I got on a remix for that. Yeah. That was the first rap I wrote in my head, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Because you had called me and said, yo, we doing a remix. You want to get on it? And I was like, yeah, I ain't had nothing wrote. And I wrote it on the way down and was writing it in my head in the car coming down there to do the joint.
That's crazy.
Never did it again though. I was like, nah, too much work. Never did it again. But I can see why cats do it. You know what I'm saying? But all right. So then, what happened? What happened? Kind of like I want to say Carolina Blue mixtape.
Carolina Blue mixtape. That was tight. That was fun. That was good.
Incredible.
I jacked your beat and gave it to Jay.
Look, man, I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it out loud. Because see, I'll play that joint for people. Yeah. And certain cats will be like, yo, ain't that the joint from the Jay-Z? You know, the Unplugged or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. You know, then they be like,
yo, that made that tape that much harder. That made that tape. Now that tape is like in high demand. We need that. If we had that tape right now,
I'm looking for it. But look, you had nothing but the creme de la creme of NC hip hop dudes on that joint, man. Like, it was, bruh, like you tapped into every part of the state and the cats who was rocking in their city, you had them on that tape. You know what I'm saying? And that tape hit the street hard and cats was on fire behind that tape. I remember you had us doing shows.
Yeah.
Off of the mixtape. And all of us just had like P Batters, piece of P Batters. You know what I'm saying? I remember us, we on the road with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like this doing our little mixtape jam, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, but killing them, you know what I'm saying? Killing them. Loved it. And peace to my brother. I gotta say, peace to my brother, Naughty Head Avenger. Passed away, Nasty Fruit Brethren. And he's the one who really I guess we met through Flawless, technically.
Okay.
Technically. Cause I think Flawless is the one who kind of introduced you to my music. Him and Skaz. I want to say they met you at like a one of them conventions, one of the music conventions or whatever. But it was Naughty and DVS was in the studio while you was doing the Carolina Blue joint. And you had threw up my name. And Naughty was a direct head to me, like right next to me. So he called me right there in the studio and he was like, yo, Ski wants you to come down here and work on this joint, lock this joint down, he's doing this mixtape. Like, fuck yeah, I rock that joint. I ain't got no problem here. Yeah, let's go. And then when I came down, you fucking, I don't even think you played me but like 3 beats, but I want to say that People Talk joint was probably like the second beat you had played. And I was like, yo, I'm not letting nobody else get on that. And they like, you played another beat, and I was like, nah, go back to the other joint. Let me get some. And like I say, I like what Jay-Z did, and I like what, mine was a freestyle. It was for a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I didn't attack it as a song. And
but that shit was still classic, though. How you singing on that bit? It's still classic, my nigga. That's what made it. I'm telling you, that's what made it even more. I was playing that game with it too. I knew that was gonna happen. I said, yo, I'm gonna give him this beat and watch. I knew that shit was gonna happen.
Yeah, craziness. And that joint too, like that joint, oh man. It was just a vibe on that joint. Like I could play that joint for cats now and they'll lose their mind, man. It's just such a vibe. Like the vibe that was in there was crazy.
That's a good record. Yeah, man. So look, First Now City.
Yeah. Second Now City. Let's get on that. Second Now City real quick.
All right. So second, well, I'm gonna tell you how that happened though. The First Now City. I disappeared again. I think the battery's out on my phone. I'm gonna have to do the profile.
That's cool. The dojo. Yeah, we gotta talk about the dojo too, man. I'm gonna hold you for about 2 hours. We're gonna do a drink.
You got the profile look.
Yeah.
So yeah, Second Now City, man. The first Now City, it was working out, but it was kind of funny. I mean, you know, I don't want to say I was having problems, but me and Missy Rec was kind of bumping heads at the time. Crunk was on his thing. You know, Crunk was more of a solo artist, and he always wanted to be a producer, solo artist. That's his thing. You feel me?
No doubt. And like I say, when I never saw him around. Like when I started coming around, like he was the one that I never really saw around. Like I would catch him. I think I caught him like one time he came by the studio, but then like I say, he was doing his own thing.
And on purpose though, Crunk didn't want to be around. He didn't want to be. I would say, yo, come to the studio. It's like, nah, I'm chilling, man. Y'all do y'all thing. I'll come through. I'll come through next time. He liked to come by himself and work with me.
No doubt.
You know, he's on that introvert, solo artist type vibe. I get it. I wasn't mad at it. No but incredibly talented brother. Crunk is crazy. No Missy Rec, obviously incredibly talented. You feel me? And I love that chemistry. And Hot Right was my wild card. You couldn't contain him, but he would say the craziest, wildest shit out his mouth. So I loved him for that. You feel me? And he was always on deck. Whenever I needed Hot, he was there. No doubt. And but I knew that the first Now City, we had to do something. But around that time, I was meeting people. I think I met Little Rise either through Missy or Hot. You know what I'm saying? That's how I met Little Rise. And I like the way he rhymed and like his style. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I knew you already. You know what I mean?
Rise. Yeah, no doubt. Peace of Little Rise, man. That dude came in on fire. He was hungry. You know what I mean? Little hungry dude. You know what I mean?
And I don't know how I met Kia.
I know she was on a mixtape. I know she was on that mixtape. You know what I mean? Because that was the first time I heard.
That's what it was. She got on that mixtape. I met her through the mixtape. Yeah. And she was dope. She was raw. And I'm like, yo, she need to get in the group. And then, and you guys was lucky enough to land that deal and everything. You know what I'm saying? I wish that deal would have fucking went through, man. And Little Rouse was giving me hell off that shit, man. He was thinking that we was taking bread and everything. That just went sour quick.
Man, look, okay. And this for everybody out there that know about Now City or whatever. This happened during the WIA merger. Like, you got us to deal with Elektra. The Sylvia Rome Connect came through. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it boiled down to. Like, we had a single came out. We was in the role. We was in the machine. We had made it up there. We had talked to some heads. We was there. And then WIA happened. Like, that merger hit. And that merger tore up the industry, period, man. A lot of cats don't talk about that merger like that, but that was kind of the first signs of like the industry going the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like that merger tore everything up. And we was at the bottom of the roster. That roster was heavy at the time. They had Missy at the top of the roster and whatever. Mm-hmm. And a lot of cats went to Atlantic, and a lot of us that was at the bottom, you know what I mean? Like, they just wasn't trying to pick up that type of ticket, So it was this, we fell into that merger thing, Yeah. And that was one thing I learned. That was when I really got the business in. I was so caught up in the family side of Now City.
Right.
And it really kind of got into us being a true group in a sense. Like, I went in, we all went in as solo artists. You know what I mean? Like,
man, we was on the road for 60 days.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we really, we had bonded. Like, we had got into some family shit. And it's kind of like when that thing kind of broke down, I think it kind of put everybody back in that solo space. And it was hard to get everybody back together again to kind of push forward with what would need to happen. Like, if we was going to go and try to get on another deal, or if we was going to try to put it out in pen, like, everybody had just split out, you know what I mean? So it just wasn't no coming back. Like, I know I went and started going into Fruit Efforts hard, you know what I mean? So, but it was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time, man. That Grey Goose tour was something to talk about, boy. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, fun. That shit was dope.
Bro, I drank a lot on that tour, man. That was it. And when we was constructing the show, and I started, since it was sponsored by Ciroc, I started turning up the bottle at the beginning of the show.
Remember that?
Like, well, I had a young gut, man. I had a young gut. It was nothing. And it set the crowd on fire. See, like, when that intro, man, oh my goodness. You had just started learning how to play the guitar,
You know,
you guys used to come out with the guitar and shit.
nigga, you hadn't even. What was crazy? You hadn't even played the guitar probably about 4 months. Good. You know what I'm saying? You had just picked the bitch up, still had fresh callus on your fingers, and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna play this shit on stage." I'm like, nigga, you just learned how to play this shit, and you gonna do this shit? Yeah, watch. And we just rocked, man. That shit came out beautiful, man. Like beautiful. Yeah. Boy, look, people were supposed to see that like on video. We got a video of that somewhere. Yeah, somebody got it. Dog leg got it. Somebody got it, man. Daryl, man. Oh, Daryl, man.
Yeah, he got it. You know, Franz probably got it too. Yeah. We had like one of the best shows on that tour. Bro, we was getting mad respect from all the other artists, man.
We crushed that tour. We moved up a couple of slots because of how we was rocking on that tour. You know what I'm saying? By the time we had got, you know, in the tour good, we was up about 2-3 slots. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, by the time we got into that tour, we had the major artists coming out watching the show like this.
No doubt. They was hearing about what was happening, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They were hearing about what was happening, man. It was a beautiful time, man. Beautiful time. Like, boy, I can't. Woo. That was, you taking me back now for real. We need to do a reunion, man. We need to do a reunion on that.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, a reunion would be beautiful. Like this to kind of do like a brief little documentary type piece. You know what I mean? Interview everybody. I know everybody ain't gonna necessarily want to just get together. You know what I'm saying? But if we could and put together a nice little show or whatever, oh my God, just for North Carolina heads, you know what I mean? Just for the heads who know it. And probably get some other North Carolina heads that was, you know, rocking around the time, you know, saying do the show, whatever. I think that'd be fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could do that.
Shit, we about to hit about 20 years here in a minute on that thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be beautiful, man. That'd be something to talk about offline. You know what I'm saying? But
that'd be dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Peace to Kia Smith. Peace to Lil Rise. Peace to Joe Quindy.
Joe Quindy. He's still in Winston.
Is he?
He's still in Winston. He didn't move.
That man, look.
No, matter of fact, my bad. He's in Greensboro right now.
That's what's up, man. If nobody don't know, look Joe Quindy up, man. You know what I mean? Like
he
incredible engineer, musician. You know what I mean? He got a Grammy. You know what I mean? The dude got a Grammy. You know what I mean? So like, incredible guy, man. Love that dude. So all right, you go from now city now. You're moving. You say, fuck it, I'm gonna go back to New York.
Yep, but before I went back to New York, you know, I did a couple other things. Hot Right got his deal. Then I got MOS his deal.
MOS, my mans. How can I forget about my mans? Piece of MOS, man.
Got MO his deal. And then I got this kid, Pittsburgh Slim.
Pittsburgh Slim. I remember that name. I don't know.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Slim. Jay-Z actually signed him. Wow. I took him to New York, took him to Def Jam, and Jay-Z signed him on the spot.
No doubt.
Crazy.
All right. So then you're moving. You up there in New York now for a while. 24-hour karate school.
So 24-hour karate school.
Incredible piece of work. Another piece of that production I'm talking about where you just ain't scared to just touch on anything. Like, bruh, like when I went back to it. Cause I knew we was gonna talk. I said, I'm gonna listen to this joint again because it's been a minute since I pulled this joint out. Man, your space, that's what I'm saying. Your space, you know how to stay in your pocket, but get out of it. Like, you know, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can really say, okay, that's a Ski Beatz. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you know what I mean? Like, now, don't get me wrong, because I used to love, I remember actually going out looking for records after Who You With. Mm-hmm. After the Who You With record hit, I went out looking for records that sounded like that sample. Like, I wanted nothing but them hit that. I want that shit. Where is it at? I'm going to dig it out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like your musicality just went to another level. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thing that just blew my mind. Like you was always trying to just grow as a musician, like producing. Like you say, it just always was another level for you. I think I'm always.
All I did was take all of the ideas that I was kind of developing when I was doing Now City. You know how we was in the booth with all the live instruments and all that shit, and I just brought it to New York. And when I did the 24-hour karate school, Dane was big on like, yo, you can't use these samples because we can't clear them because we independent, we ain't got no money. I'm like, all right. So I would sample shit and I would give it to live musicians, and I would have, matter of fact, I would have them replay the whole record how the record is played.
No
In the
doubt.
same way I chop the record, I'll chop them. You feel me? So it'll be replayed but chopped. So it's still my shit. You know what I mean?
Man, ahead of your time. Once again, ahead of your time. Like, that's how cats getting over now. I want to say De.O.L.O did their last album like that. Just had musicians come in and play the grooves or whatever and stuff, and then just, hey, that was their sample catalog. They just chopped up from there. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it's got to go right now, I guess. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give up my records, man. I want to chop records till I'm blue in the face. You know what I'm saying? But, yes, sir. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Big.
Some nice Sunday Nova groups, man.
Bruh, now see, you gonna have me plug my stuff up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, boy, look, you have me turn around here, man. I dust off this MP right quick and show you something real fast, boy.
You know I'm rocking with this new SP1200, right?
Yeah, I was looking at that. You've been rocking with that now. I've been seeing your Instagram joints. How you like it?
Shit is dope, man. I've been on it heavy. I'm still getting familiar with it, but it's live. I love it.
So, do they still? Is it still kind of set up like the 12 as far as screen wise?
Exactly. If you jump on it, you automatically gonna kind of know how it works because it's like the 12. It's different, but some of the maneuvers, how you get around is like the 1200. So it doesn't really. It wouldn't take you. It's no
like your multi-leveling and all that still kind of set up.
Multi-level, multi-pitch, envelopes now, loop slice. Yeah, it's the same shit. Got filters on top. Shit is dope.
Oh man, yeah. And you always been a machine dude. Like you flip machines like underwear. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, how does this dude just always know how to work this next machine all the time, man? Like, every time I look up, you got the Ableton. You had the Ableton joint before I ever seen what the hell it was. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, you just always been on that type of shit.
Yeah, because I'm a nerd like that. I like figuring shit out. And my mom always told me, she's like, yo, you need to go to school for computers, because I always like to just figure shit out. Like, yo, how does this work? If I don't know how it's going, I'll figure it out. Bottom line, I'm gonna figure this shit out. I want to know how it works. I want to know everything about it.
You was one of them cats who used to take the back off of like radios and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you was one of them. I used to look at cats like that, like, man, nah. Now I would take a part of cassette and add that extra reel on it, so I can get like 190 minutes on one side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause when we was young in the production end, you couldn't get no equipment. That, and I think that was the beauty of being in North Carolina too. Like, we didn't know how New Yorkers was making the music or how they was, or whatever. So we just had to just engineer it, man, and just say, hey, I'm gonna do it like this. I remember the first beat that I actually made. I had a component set and I had a realistic mixer from Radio Shack and a turntable. And I would take my box. I had a box, a little out, my box was official, boy. I had 1,000 watts on each speaker. So I would go ahead and go in the component set, do me a pause mix, get me a beat, get me a break or whatever.
Yeah.
Loop that up. Then I would run that into the box. And basically, before I didn't know it at the time, but I was tracking. So I would run that into the box. And then I would come back, play the beat back over, with my turntable and get my little cuts on my little stuff that I wanted to blend over top of it and record it back on there again. So now it's like on there's one track. And then my man would come over, we are rapping to the box. You know what I'm saying? And then boom. You know what I'm saying? We got a track recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like it might have took about 3 hours, but we get it done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So beautiful time, man. North Carolina is just nothing else. I remember with SP, peace my man Wisdom. You know what I mean? We sitting around and we listening to Pete Rock and we listening to all these cats. And we're like, man, how are they getting all this shit in this fucking 10-second sampler, man? So then we started tricking shit. We thinking this is what they doing. Like, we didn't know no better. So what we would do, we had a high dub cassette that would actually play the volume out while you're recording in fast dub. So then we would take records if we couldn't get it to go fast enough on 45 because we wanted so big of a piece.
Yeah.
And we would take it and put it in that overdub joint and sample out of that going stupid fucking fast. And then that ring, that SP ring would come out like this stupid nasty. You know what I'm saying? But we raping the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying? But 10 seconds, we blowing cats' mind. We go to New York, we playing beats. And they like, okay, well, where's the rack? Like, what do you, nigga, we doing this with 10 seconds. 10. Ain't no 950. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Nah, bruh, straight 10 seconds of time. One machine, you know what I'm saying? It was eating them. All my snares was 0.03. Yeah. Oh man,
just like that.
Yes, I mean, bro, you had to get and you had to dump everything back because you didn't want to. You needed every piece of that 10 seconds, dog. If you forgot to dump something back, you were playing yourself. Cut that shit, dump it, and get them damn 0.08s back. Like we used to be fighting, man. By the time we had the end of that beat, we hitting that shit looking like, ooh, boy, we got 0.07 left, boy. We can get a little horn or something in there and go to work, man.
So you still got your SP?
No. Jesus Christ, I wish I did, man. My SP got stolen.
So I got one right there.
Okay, you know what I mean? I ain't even gonna talk about that. So, but I haven't been through the gambit now, man. Like Skaz, you know, piece of Skaz daddy. That's my technical guru. And
he's on a Renaissance, right?
Yeah. He on that Renaissance now. And he would move me in and out, like, cause you know, like I guess through my time, I would get on the rhyme thing. And I always go back to the beats. Like the beats was always my first thing anyway. Like I always just, I started rhyming later.
Right.
My man just pushed me into rhyming. Like, you know, cause we found a better DJ than me. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, pick up the mic. You know what I mean? So, and I started rhyming, and the cats gravitated to my rhymes, you know what I mean, a lot, you know, but I've always did the beats. So Skaz, whenever I would come back up, I'm like, all right, I'm ready, man. I need to do something. I need some beats, man. I need to work. He would just hook me up with a set. Like he would just turn me on to like the things I would need. So like the first time I got back on, I started doing beats on Pro Tools. And I had a trigger finger. Yeah. And I think that was it. I just had the trigger finger and I was using battery and Reason and using Pro Tools as, you know what I mean, the DAW. You know what I mean, in a sense. And like I didn't know cats was even using Pro Tools like that. That Skaz daddy boy, he flipped that thing on me, man, and was like, yo, look, you just turn these on right here, boom, boom, boom. Blew my mind, man. So, you know, like it kind of got me to where I'm able to move through Pro Tools now a whole lot easier, you know what I'm saying? And so now I'm rocking on the MPC studio right now. Like I just got a little studio just so I can bang out. And I'm loving it. Like I'm loving it. Just being able to, you know, get out what I need to get out. I'm mad because you playing beats and I ain't plug up my drive. And I'm ready to bust you in the head right now with one. You got me ready to go get my cord. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I mean?
I ain't really got nothing hot in this machine yet, though.
Man, look, you always got something hot in that machine. You know what I mean? So look, now talk about the Smack Pack, man. Now, yeah. So like when did you start that? Like when did you even get that going?
I was it's crazy how it happened. I was on my SP1200 making a beat, and then I posted the beat up, and I said, man, I forgot how liberating 10 seconds was. Matter of fact, I challenged you guys to make a beat with 10 seconds. Then the next morning, I woke up, I had like hundreds of videos saying the hashtag 10 seconds challenge on it. Hundreds. I'm like, yo, and I'm listening to these joints, and I was like, I want to post that. So I started posting them. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna post all of them. So I posted all of those beats on my page. Then people started making more beats, and I kept posting them. So that kind of got me into the whole quarantine challenge game, because I said, you know what? Everybody's at home. People need shit to do. People need to get, you know, the bullshit off their mind. Let me do another challenge. So I, you know, after I got through with that, I said, okay, this is the Smack Pack challenge. I'm gonna make a drum pack for them to use. So I put together a pack, put it out there, say, yo, get the pack, make your beat. You got a week. And post your beat up and make sure you tag me in it with the hashtag Smack Pack, boom, boom, and tag me in it, and you know, and I'll repost it. And I just kept it going like that, and then it just turned into a thing, man.
Bruh, it's a thing. It's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's bringing producers out the woodwork, man. Like cats that, you know what I'm saying, probably wouldn't even have stepped out like that. It's like oh hell yeah, let me get some of that. I'm gonna show them what I can do. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the sounds, yo, you giving them some heat too. Like,
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't see over here, but I'm over here like I'm sound designing, bro. I got like the modulars, the synths, all the instruments, everything. I'm like literally sound designing, making them some cool sounds to the pack, man. And I flood the packs. I don't like give you like most producers will throw a pack, give you like 20, 50 sounds and say that's their sound pack. I'm giving you like 800 a gig of sounds.
That's what my man, like, yo, I was talking to one of my producer homies, you know what I'm saying? Peace to Fatal. And he was like, yo, I got one of them packs, bro. He said he ain't playing. That pack had like about 2,000 sounds in that motherfucker. I was like, what? Yeah. This dude dumping on him like that?
Dumping on him like that, kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me some of that pack, boy.
I'm gonna send you the packs, kid.
Yeah. Let me show my people what I can do with a smack pack.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Smack people in the face. You know what I mean? Because I ain't let them hear nothing yet now, Ski. Like I say, my people ain't really heard nothing come out of the camp like that yet. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like my next.
What do you mean? You ain't played no beats for your peoples yet?
I ain't played no beats for my peoples yet, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm scared. I don't know why, but I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and bust. I'm gonna go ahead and just my next video. I'm just gonna bust them because like I'm trying to go ahead. I think I'm gonna do an instrumental EP, and I want my people to kind of be with me through the process. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go through some beats. You know what I mean? Pick out some joints. Sit down with Skaz. We're gonna get them joints mixed. You know what I'm saying? Then I think I want to do an EP joint where I'm vocally go ahead and put some stuff on the mic.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be dope.
And do that, you know what I mean? So, and it wouldn't hurt to have a Ski Beat on that joint.
I got you, man. I got you.
See, you know what? You ain't gonna do me like that. I'm about to plug up.
Oh, what you about to do, kid? I ain't got nothing hot in here though. This is just some regular shit.
No doubt. I ain't gonna try to burn you.
Don't burn me, man.
I ain't gonna try to burn you, man. I'm gonna keep it light, man. Hold on.
Oh shit, I done woke up the motherfucking devil.
Yeah, you done woke up the beast, man.
Here we go.
You about to show you how you can go down.
Oh shit. What the fuck did I do?
I've been gone.
All right. I'm trying to speed this up. So I'm gonna go to try to go to my drive, see what I got on my drive.
You lucky I ain't got my MPC hooked up. You lucky I ain't got my MPC hooked up, that guy.
All right, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting MPC. I got something.
Woo! Who's that, Sean?
Yeah, that's Sean right there, homie.
Sean, what up, Sean?
What up, Ski?
How you doing?
You know the missus is always right there, man.
I already know. I know how y'all do.
Y'all know what? Don't worry about it. I can rock out this. All right. Tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear it?
A little bit. Ooh. Yeah, it's the compression is cutting it off. The compression is cutting it off. You can't really hear it. you gotta figure out how to like I got mine connected direct.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure out how to do that on your next
Yeah,
Zoom
man, cause that just hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God that didn't work. Ooh, I like that. Hold on.
You right. Man. Woo. Boy.
That's the
Yeah, she hitting, man. She hitting. Oh my goodness.
That's some live percussions.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. This dude always on it, man. Always on it. I swear to God, man. We need more of you out here, man. We need more of you out here right now. The hip hop is we need about 10 Ski Beatz out here.
We're gonna bring them back, man. We're gonna bring that shit back, son.
Good. Let's go about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Gee. Heaterifics. You know what I mean? Nothing but the heaterifics. You know what I forgot to ask you about, man? Because they're my boys too, man. Peace to Sway, man, and Chiba, man. Camp Low.
Camp Low, man. They chilling, they doing good, you know. But Sway's out there with you somewhere. And
yeah.
He was in Atlanta.
I thought he was in Durham. You know, I thought Sway was in Durham.
Yeah, Sway's in Durham and Chiba's in Atlanta, I think.
Okay, all right. That's what's
still
good.
around.
Yeah. So, yo, what was your deal? Like, how did you even hook up with them? Like, was that like, did you discover them in a sense? Or like, was that like some production tip? Like, how did that even come about? You know what I mean? Because y'all connection is crazy. Like, you know, I was around when y'all was working on that second album.
Yeah, it was definitely a discovery. Sway, let me turn this on. Sway was like, he used to live on the block. I used to live in the Bronx with this Spanish mommy, Evelyn, and her mom and her brother. How y'all doing? I appreciate y'all. They looked out for me, man. And I used to live, with them. And she was like, "Yo, it's this kid named Saladin. He want to meet you. He heard about you, yada yada yada." So that's how I met Sway.
No
he
doubt.
was a rapper. He was spitting some bars. I took him to Clark House. We recorded a little tape. Sounded pretty good, and I thought he was dope. And I kind of lost touch with him after that. But a year later, he came back. He had Chiba with him. He's like, "Yo, we got a group. This is my partner. His name is Chiba. The name of my group is D.O.L.O." And I'm like, "What you mean, like Dice?" I said, "You need to change your name because that's a New York thing. You need something, where
No doubt.
vibe with." So they changed it to Camp Low. But when I heard them rhyme and I saw how they was dressing and how they was talking, like they always been like that. You know what I'm saying? From day one, that's how they talk in real life. That's how they dress in real life. So that's just who they are.
I can vouch for that, brother. Like, that's just an everyday thing. That's their zone. Like, I used to think it was like, because everybody got a persona. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you step into the game, you're an MC, you go ahead and put on, so I figured like, okay, that's their persona. Like, when I chill with them, they're going to be on this or they, whatever. Nah, that's 24/7. That's who they are, man. These dudes is Uptown Saturday night, 24/7.
Hell yeah, that's their shit, nigga.
Straight up, straight up, man. Them boys, man. I got some stories about them boys. You know what I'm saying? I love them to death. I need to try to get them up here too. Them boys, woo. Yeah. And the flows is ridiculous. Like a lot of times, I mean, when you listen to it, you like, what are they talking about? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's so coded. You know what I mean? It's such in that slick flow that like they really saying something. Like, but it's like it just. You got to be in their zone to really understand like what they really own. And when you hang out with them and you see their zone, you see their style,
you figure it out.
it makes so much sense. Like all of this started to make so much sense. Like, yo, these brothers on something else, man. Like they on something else.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, and if they go back in and kind of polish it up, they still ahead of their time. Ain't nobody doing what they doing. I mean, I could play Camp Low records now that we just recently did, and they still on some other shit.
I believe it, brother. I believe
Crazy.
it. They ahead of their time all the time. I know. I was around. Y'all was working on that second album. Did the second album? It got released, but I can't find it now. Like when I go out and look for a digital, I can't.
What was that? That was the
That was the Glow joint.
Yeah. That was with your boy Sean.
Yeah, it was on like it was an independent, right? Like it was. Yeah, man, boy, that you was on something else then, bro. Like you was in a little pocket.
That glow, yeah, we was rocking.
Woo, boy, that jump, boy, woo. I remember hearing that in the studio on them speakers and was like, oh my God, boy, cats ain't ready for what these dudes about to do, man. That Camp Lower.
Low was ill, man.
Oh,
Low was ill.
No, man, look, still is. Like I say, them boys still working, man. I be seeing them dropping stuff. I check them out. You know what I mean? I saw Sway probably like, I guess about 3 years ago. You know what I mean? We was at Skaz was DJing at a spot, and we went to go check him out, and he came through or whatever. Good brother, man. This like I say, every time I see him, you know what I'm saying? It's always love. You know what I mean? Ain't no bullshit. You know, cats can be on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But he always just straight up humble dude, man. Just love him to death, man. Love him to death. But oh man, I got Ski Beatz on the catch up, and this is a beautiful thing, man. I love you, man. I anytime, you know what I'm saying, you got something to talk about that you trying to promote. When the next Smack Pack thing happening? You got a date on that yet? Like
in like 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. All right, y'all hear it now. All my people that do beats, you know what I mean, that's trying to get down, go get a Smack Pack, smack somebody up, you know what I'm saying, with some kicks and some snares, you know what I'm saying. And now they can follow you on IG. I'm gonna get all of your stuff. I'm gonna throw it down in the bottom too, cause you be dropping some stuff on IG. You know what I mean? And I be seeing you. I be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and step my beat game up and show them what we're doing down here in the woods.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yo, I will go ahead and close it off. I love you. I love you. I appreciate you so much, man. Like I said, once again, you're a pioneer. If it was no you, it would be no me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the real as it can get. You know what I mean? You have done so much for North Carolina, man. I love you. I'm gonna talk to you offline. You know what I mean? And I can talk to you. Hey, I can talk to you because we talk, but we don't get to talk like we need to talk. You know what I mean? So love you. You know what I'm saying? Tell Tone Hook I'm looking for him, you know what I mean? And we gonna holler, man. Thank you for coming to the catch up, man. There's gonna be plenty more. I need you to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anytime. You already know, D.O.L.O, I got you.
That's what it is, brother. Family. Love you. We're gonna holler later.
Peace.
All right.